Welcome back to another podcast of Road to Abundance, guys. Today we have Celi,
Hi guys.
which is my girlfriend, as you probably know, and I wanted to get her on the podcast to explain how she became successful, what was the change that she did in her life. You know the deal. Last podcast we did was more relationship, how we work in a relationship and stuff. Now let's go into business, health, and a little bit of how you became successful.
Yeah, let's do it.
So tell me a little bit like your story. Tell people like what were you doing before? How old are you, and how you become successful? Now you have like a business that you're doing e-com, you're doing Amazon. Everything is very successful right now. So how did you do it?
So, how far back should I go?
I mean, as to tell the stories as far as you need.
So, I started off at a really early age. Let's start with me being a restaurant server. I was always a really hard worker. My parents were immigrants and they came here. My dad was a truck driver and my mom worked a factory job because they didn't have papers. So from a young age, I really saw them, always working no matter what. And I feel like at a young age, it really implemented me that it didn't matter what I was doing. I was always just going to try to do my best. And so it started off with being a restaurant server. I worked 40 hours. I was like 14 at the time. And, after that, I was like, all right, this was cool, but this is just not for me. So I applied to be in sales at a Wilson's Leather. I'm sure a lot of people know that store, very famous leather store. And I worked my way up. So I actually started off just, on the floor, just helping people with their coats and stuff. And then there was a higher position as a stock manager. And what stock is you're actually in the back and you're just, taking care of all the inventory coming on. And honestly, I love doing sales, but I just went where the money was. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just do that for a while. It'll make me money. And then I worked my way up. Even when I was doing stock, whenever I would go on the floor, people would ask me questions and then I would help them. And I actually still ended up being the highest sales, even though I was in the back. So my manager was really impressed, and I was 18 at the time, and I became the youngest and highest paid sales person. So at the age of 18, I became a manager for the store, and our store actually did the best in the district. So I was really happy. I mean, I was 18, I was getting paid, something like 20 an hour, which like now I'm just like, oh, that's nothing. But it was a lot back then. And then after that, I realized I didn't want to do sales anymore. I started my health journey. I was like super into fitness. So I was like, you know what? I want to be a personal trainer. Everyone's always asking me for diet plans, so I might as well. So I decided to leave sales to go into personal training. I did really well there. And little did I know that if you work at a gym, you're not actually being a personal trainer. You're actually in sales, because all they want you to do, yes, I'm training them and stuff, but all they want you to do is sell to these people. So it actually came in handy. Within my first 3 months, I made the company something like $50,000, and no trainers were selling. So they were like, what the hell are you doing? Mm-hmm. And honestly, throughout my whole job experience, I just was genuine. I feel like so many people try to force a sale and just like, you need to buy those 3 jackets, or you need to get this huge package. Mm-hmm. And I was just honest with people, and that's, how I really made it. But fast forward, after personal training, I was like, a lot of people are injured. A lot of people can't do anything. So then I wanted to go into physical therapy. I studied a little bit of that, worked for a chiropractor, advanced from there, got my own clinic. And I did really well for myself, like ever since I was very young. And then after that, COVID happened, and I think that was a huge shift for everyone. So I lost my entire business. I was personal training people, and then it was convenient because I had my massage room, so I was making like double the money off of people because obviously I was their massage therapist and their trainer. But I lost my entire business, and at that time I was probably making like $15,000 off of both. And I was so lucky because I didn't really spend, so I was able to live off my savings for a pretty long time. But eventually I was like, fuck, I have to do something. So I went on YouTube and I did drop shipping for a while. I created my own company. It was a clothing company. And then it advanced to a waist trainer company, which a lot of people actually know me from. It's Shapeshifter Official. So I did that for a while, and finally, this is where I'm finally at. Now I do Amazon FBA full time. I realized that drop shipping, it's like the whole doing things from China back and forth. Shopify, it's great, but it takes a very long time to make a brand. And I was like, why not do Amazon? I hear so many things about it. Amazon takes care of everything. You are able to flip products very quickly, and I just fell in love with it. So that's what I've been doing for the last 2.5 years. And I have an academy where I teach other women how to do the same.
Awesome. So guys, like things that you can notice is certain amount of skills that she got through like selling at first, got her skills in personal training. I feel like personal training for me is more like being a therapist. Like,
yes,
people don't really want to...
Even a massage therapist, people are like, my daughter's in jail. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's like people, they want to come to the gym, they want to train, but even if you're the best trainer, they just want to talk and it's a time for them to release the stress and anxiety. So I feel like when you're a trainer, it's more like you're a therapist. So yeah, it's really cool. She got the skills and perfectioned it. And then she got people skills, sales skills, and then she just translated. And what's cool about the story is that she didn't need any background. She just got mentors and YouTube, and now that's a very cool thing that everybody can take note from. You don't need actually to go to school, or you don't need any special stuff to succeed in life. So
you know what, actually, and even speaking of, like, I was so dedicated. I was an overachiever, and I was trying to prove to my parents something. But I went to high school. I even graduated an entire semester early to get ahead in college, and then I dropped out because I was like, this does not make any sense. Like, I'm not really applying anything. And when I realized that I was learning more from like my mentors, like I actually, speaking of, when I was a personal trainer, when I just started, I wanted to be the best. So I actually bought personal training. I bought 10 personal training sessions with, his name was Tom, and he was the most advanced personal trainer there. Bought 10 sessions from him, and I was like, teach me what you know. And then I trained my clients the same way. So I invested into that. I was listening to what all the sales managers or what they were saying to the clients, and I just applied myself. Like, YouTube was freaking amazing. Like, you can literally, like, you're not gonna learn everything you need to know, but you can learn enough to where we're in an information age. There is no excuse why you say, "Oh, I can't do this." Google it or YouTube it, or else you're just being ignorant.
Yeah, like paying mentor, guys, is always a hack. And I did the same when I was in personal training. I actually hired a guy that also gave me certification and other stuff. And he was the best for me that I found in my area. He was a friend. So not only he was training me, I was learning from him. I was paying him as mentorship, plus another guy. And it's a hack of life. If someone has what you want and the skills that you want, if you pay for it, it's going to quantum leap you into knowledge, which you're going to become the best real fast, or one of the best. And also, like, from YouTube and from a lot of other platforms, like, whenever I want to learn something, that I don't know, as skills, Photoshop, whatever I need, I go on YouTube. So that's another thing. And you worked also with people in order to build e-com and stuff. Like I know that you worked with some big people in the industry before that you learned from them.
Yeah.
So you were working, you didn't technically pay for the mentorship, you were being paid to work for them.
Yeah.
And learning from the best, and then it helped you in your business, and then you were able to make a successful Amazon before you teach the skills.
Yeah. And you know what is really important? You know, one of the biggest hacks too, like this is a life hack, and I know that you did it too. If you are just starting off, and maybe you're just like so traumatized to start something, what I did when I first started is I actually did a multi-level marketing. And it's funny because so many people are against it. Like now I can't see myself doing it, but it really does help you, because when you join a multi-level marketing, you automatically get into a community of people who are also doing the same thing, and you actually get mentorship for free. Like I know a lot of different MLMs where it's like the personal development naturally comes with it. So I did like 2 different multi-level marketings, and they gave me so much different like courses too that maybe they even paid for, and I built relationships with them, and I learned a lot, and I was also making money, right? So it was like a win-win.
Yeah, MLM used to be like a good thing back in the day. Now I feel like you have your own community, I have my own community. There's a lot of people that are successful that have their own community. Like right now my community is free. I'm gonna launch one very soon for like $200 a month plus the course that you can buy. I think yours is similar price.
Yeah.
So the goal, guys, with community, it's proven. Every great person, every great athlete, every great businessman have mentor. And if you want to get the top of the top, sometimes it could be $1 million or $2 million a year to get coach. So imagine if you can access people with amazing knowledge just to get in a community and get knowledge for a very small price. Like to give you an idea, I just joined one of the top community, which is Platinum of Tony Robbins, and it's costing me close to $130,000 a year. So in my community for $200, you're gonna get very similar knowledge, because I'm giving you my knowledge, and I'm paying extremely high amount to get all that knowledge from all the best teacher. So there's community like yours for e-com, Shopify, whatever they want to do.
It's actually funny, no joke, before I got on this podcast, I was just looking at my Discord, because I'm not making this up. I just paid $100 to join another e-commerce Discord, and I've been having some trouble with an Ungate in over-the-counter drugs, and I look, and that's the first thing that pops up. It's like, this is a guarantee for Ungate, and this is the exact process. I'm like, oh my God, something that was looking to get done automatically solved just with that $100 is probably going to make me a lot of money.
Yeah, community, make sure that you are accountable, that you're gonna stay on track, you're gonna see other people succeed, it's like you go every day, even for fitness, even for your health, for your relationship, you see people that are doing good thing. And instead of looking at the media and other bullshit and Netflix that won't give you anything good, then you can go in the community and you can ask questions, you can join the live session, you can pay for mentorship. This is a hack that we both do and that you guys should apply in your life, because now there's no excuses. You can even get free course on YouTube. I think now you can access also course from MIT and stuff like that. Like we're in an era of information, so there's no excuses for you guys not to get successful in your life. And since it's winter season, and if you guys don't know, there's 4 seasons. And winter is when times get hard, like recession and all that stuff, and it could last a few years. Not especially the recession, but recession could lead to a massive impact. And we know the economy is shifting. We don't know if, we do know, but we don't know when they're gonna tokenize everything. So the money is not gonna be there anymore. It's probably gonna be crypto and stuff like that, and ChatGPT and AI. So if you don't adapt, it's gonna be really hard for you. And also, I love a few things that you're doing. Like you got me into more like journaling and gratitude journal and all that stuff. So this was like for you a massive help and change in your journey.
Yeah, I've actually been journaling since I was like 18. It's funny, I actually have it in my closet. I've saved almost all of my, I look at them from time to time, but they're actually in the closet. And since I was 18, I've actually written pretty much the same thing. Like, I am so happy and grateful for a multi-million-dollar company. I'm so happy and grateful for my family. I'm so happy and grateful for this, that, my health, etc. And it's been the same, and it just makes me realize how much, as long as you stay consistent over and over and over, eventually you, like, I look back and I'm like, oh, I have that now. I have that now. I have that now. I think a lot of people, when they journal, they get so disappointed. It's like, but I don't have that. But eventually, if you stay consistent with that thought long enough, like, thoughts become things. As long as you stay consistent enough, regardless of the outside circumstances, it will come true. So I'm very persistent in my journaling. I love your journal. I journal in every single day, and I think it's important also to journal because it gives you a reflection of where you were at that specific moment. So I find myself looking back on all the journals I kept, and I'm like, oh, I remember that I was $40,000 in debt. I had a bad credit score. I just went over a breakup. And here I was. I'm so happy and grateful. Like, it's so crazy. I remember these journals, and it gives me constant hope that, let's say I'm going through something now, that it will get better. So it's really good to reflect.
Yeah, and it's important to have the feeling like you're already grateful for it to happen and not the lack of. So it's like one thing that we do when you journal, let's say you like, I'm so grateful for that Porsche 911. I'm so grateful for the nice relationship that I have. Even if you don't have those things, the goal is not to focus on that you don't have it, but focus on that it's coming. The universe is getting it ready for you. And a lot of people focus on the lack of not having it, but it's actually focusing on the feeling of how those things would make you feel. And that I think that's what you're doing. And
and also being happy without it. It's like people also think of like, oh, I love the feeling of being in a Lamborghini. Oh, but that would never happen. It's like, no, you have to also, as long as you stay in a good vibration, without it, it's actually going to come faster.
Yeah, the goal is to feel good every day. And if you need all those things to feel good, there's a high chance that you'll never get them because all you feel is a lack. Right now, I don't have it, and when I'll have it, I'll feel good. And we've both been rock bottom, like not having anything. You were 40,000 in debt like 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah, when I was 21. Oh, that's now going on 5-6 years.
Yeah.
I made a huge investment, and you guys, like, I still don't regret it, honestly. Like, people sit there and, like, they make mistakes and then they beat themselves up over it. Not gonna lie, there has been times where I cried in my car. I'm like, oh my God, how am I gonna fix this? But I don't regret it because I was doing so well for myself until that happened. And had that not happened, I wouldn't have become the person I am, like trying to grind it out and like find a way to make money to get myself out of it, Otherwise, I could have just been like drowning and then said, hey, this is the end of it. But I was like, no, I will persist until I succeed.
Yeah, I remember I was there at some point, like 60-something thousand dollar in debt, and I went bankrupt. And I was still investing at that time in mentors. And right after I got the bankruptcy, I was still investing in mentors. I even borrowed money from a friend to invest. And they just trust me that I was like, bro, I'll give you back the money very soon. I just need it. And people just trust you. Like, I just knew I would manifest money in my life. I never been so good with journaling. I was just good at manifesting. Now I do both. I journal and I manifest. And I also... I have a mind movie that I watch, and the goal is to get the emotion. So it's like when you were trying to manifest a relationship, you were kind of like, how would you feel in that relationship? it's like who are you in that relationship, and that's kind of what you do when you manifest, right?
Right. Something that I do when I manifest is I think of what I want, right? How I'm going to feel when I have it, and who I need to become. So I think that's very important because people just often, the number one thing that people do is they just write down what they want, but they don't hold themselves accountable to what do I need to become in order to achieve that. So it's like when you split it into three, it makes it a lot easier. It's how do I want to feel? Who am I going to become in order to get that? And what do I want?
Yeah, and investing in yourself, guys, and investing in, let's say you buy a course, let's say you do Amazon with Celi, which a lot of girls are doing and stuff. Nobody can take that away from you. It's like even if we would have a recession or anything, like the skills will remain.
Yes.
And you can't lose a skill, and you can't lose who you become and the progress that you make. And one thing that Celi is really positive. Like she's always like grinding and doing her thing, and she's positive, and it's very important to be like that if you want to manifest great stuff. And it's like it's important to have people around you that are like that, so having a positive outcome in life and knowing where you're going. And so what's the next step now? You're coaching a lot of women in Amazon, and you also doing the wholesale, and you're starting now a new business.
Yes. So the next steps for not just me, but also my company. So one thing I actually just recently launched is I'm launching my new private label. So this is actually something I've wanted to do for a while. I've actually always done private label. But I think that one of the biggest things at the beginning was that my vision for the company wasn't spot on, and honestly, like I didn't have as much money, and I was very unfocused, so the company was just like not where it was. So now I'm starting a private label again. I'm really excited about it. I love to build businesses and kind of see, like, you launch the product and then it's like you get 1-2 sales and then it starts building up. So it's nice to do Amazon because I get to leverage other people's brands and just sell quickly. It's also nice to have something of your own. So I am building my own brand. And then as far as the company, I actually just had a call this morning for our 5-year goal plan. So we've gotten so many people in the academy. Now our second business that we are going to be launching is to, within the academy with our own students, help them find virtual assistants. So we're going to make it easy, because one of the hardest things is finding good, reliable employees or virtual assistants to help you scale your Amazon store. So we're going to be able to train our own virtual assistants and help them, assign each student their own personal assistant, and we'll help train them. So that's the next step. And then after that, I think that, eventually somewhere down the line, build a software extension for Amazon. There's so many different ones. We think it's really cool. So maybe applying that, but obviously it's going to be a long-term goal. But I really think that everything Amazon is the way to go. It's so amazing to think that I can get, even if I get a small piece of $1 trillion industry, that's a lot of money, So it's like, I see, and it's always so important, always see 1 step or 2 steps ahead of everyone. Like, for instance, AI is coming up. Start thinking of ways that you can apply yourself to AI. Like me, I see Amazon. Everyone has seen, I'm sure everyone watching this has shopped or does shop constantly on Amazon. So it's like you see where it's going. So it's like, start getting a piece of the pie while it's still early. People think it's too late. No, this is just the beginning, because I can only imagine in 5 more years, it's going to be worth so much.
You're still, it's like, there's still crazy money to be made on Amazon, and Amazon has been there for so long, guys. It's like, it's never really too late. Same thing, crypto is still very early. NFT is still very early. AI is still very early. Things are going to go way faster because now technology is like ChatGPT and AI was 100 million user within 5 day. I think
Crazy.
it was insane. Like, which normally the fastest growing platform I think was TikTok. Before that, with 2 months, like, so we see that things are moving really really fast. Also, how your situation can change really fast. So 2 years ago, you were not making that much money. Now you're making like last year, like mid six figure. So it's like things can go fast when you're dedicated, when you do the right thing, when you believe in yourself, when you have 100% faith, and you can also like manifest good relationship. But it's like you have to become the best version of yourself. And
Yeah, it's very important. That's literally what happened. Um, I think everyone has their downfall where it's like they need to reinvent themselves. From 21 to starting at 23, I had it all figured out. Like I was at like the top 1%, making 10, 15,000 at such a young age, and then it hit me like a pile of bricks. I went $45,000 in debt. I lost my business. I had no idea what I was gonna do. And for a while, honestly, I was probably making under 3, 4,000 for like a good year or even two before like I really got myself together. And then after that, like just this last year, we made like almost $400,000, which is like really crazy how, again, 2 years ago, maybe I made like 50, 60 because it's like I was barely making it, but I was still investing too. So all it takes is just one good year of consistency and you can break through.
yeah.
It's going to make up for all the years that you struggled.
Yeah, and same thing. We did the wholesale Amazon. We did it for fun, and in 1 week, I think we did $1,000.
Yeah.
And it was not even like crazy because guys,
Just to show you how fast.
I didn't have time for it, so I decided to not do it. But I just wanted to see like how fast and how easy it was. And when you know what you're doing and you have the right mentors, making the wholesale is actually super easy. There's tons of opportunity like that. You just need to be open minded, and that's a thing that you do and I do. We just look at stuff and we make sure that we know where we're going. And yeah, I wanted to
open. Like also like don't stay. What I have never known that I'd be doing Amazon FBA, like from a personal trainer, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It's like you never know where life's gonna take you. For as long as I knew I was gonna be the IFBB pro, movie turned into a movie star kind of thing. Like, and then here I am doing Amazon FBA, living my dream life, and then also helping other women do the exact same and kind of like get out of that. It's
crazy.
You
had multiple failure too, like on the way,
lot.
like even your personal development business, the waist trainer. It's not really failure. It's just learning from experience. But there's a lot of things that
so much more. It was literally like my clinical massage. It was drop shipping, then multi-level marketing. It actually did make me a decent amount of money. But then afterwards, it was a clothing brand, lost 10K on that. It was a waist trainer, I probably broke even on that. After that, I made a bikini brand, made good money, but it was just never like enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
Until I did Amazon. And then but it took me 5 times. And you have to keep going. And there's this new book that I'm actually reading. I'm so obsessed with it. It's called The Greatest Salesman in the World. And he says, I will persist until I succeed. And he says it over and over and over. Like they take him to a desert, and he has to sell this very expensive coat to, where there's no money. He's like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? And
so we're back, guys. There was a little technical issue. So I think we missed the last 30 minutes of the podcast. We're just going to catch up where we left and go a little more, and we're going to leave you on that. But basically, where it cut, we were talking about the greatest salesman. And the book is about consistency. So just keep pushing, even sometimes if you don't get the result you want right away. And sometimes life just has a way of like preventing you from getting what you want to truly see if you want it, really. And then if you do, you're just going to keep pushing. And consistency is key. And there was a guy yesterday I interviewed, very successful man, and his business took 8 years before it started to really go. So for 8 years, he was living paycheck to paycheck, and then at some point, millionaire. And then now his company is 9-figure. So it reminded me the story of the coin. You know the story of the coin. Like, would you rather have $1 million today or 1 cent double every day?
Oh yeah.
And then the 1 cent double every day is actually 5.6 million. So how does this happen? Well, for the first 20 something days, there's not much happening. Let me tell you, it's a very, very, very slow curve. And then once you start reaching, like, let's say 16,000, 32,000, 64,000, 128,000, and then